How are we doing, guys? This is Kent, K&M Outdoors. On this video, I'm going to plaque mount these antlers from the buck that I killed in rifle season. This here is just a piece of 1x12 that I bought at Lowe's. I cut it out. The form is off some. The plaque that I used to cut it off of was off, but it don't have to be perfect. Like I said, you don't need a video on that. You just take your jigsaw, cut it out. I sanded it, and I used polyurethane on it. I put 3 or 4 coats of polyurethane on it. I got this galvanized hanger strap from Lowe's, and I got these stainless steel screws from Harbor Freight. Now, this usually don't go as easy as you think it does, I'll be honest with you. It's usually a pain to try to get them mounted on and stuff. Basically, what you want to do is just put your antlers down to where you want them. I think that's going to be enough, so I'm just going to... The good thing about this is you can just bend it where you want it and just work it back and forth, and it'll eventually break. Like that. And then you want to say we'll put them about there. So what you'll do is I'd say that one will be perfect. What I'm going to do is do this. Go ahead and screw this one down. Try to get it on good and level where you want it, about there. Do that. Okay. Then what you want to do is stick your horns in like that. I'm sorry about that little man's pitching a fit. Alright guys, we got the horns mounted. Pretty straight. Like I said, I always forget this part here. But what you want to do is get you another small piece you want to put on the back for to hang it with. That's what I do anyway. Hey, you should put that on before you do the antlers, but every time I mount one like this, I do that and I forget it. End up having to break out the drywall screws. I had to go in a little deeper. Now on these, what you want to do is pretty well the same thing, just wherever you want to hang it at. Try not to strip it out. Why the thing being so hateful. Do that. And usually I'll just take my knife and just move it up a little. Like I said, all it's got to do is just sit on a screw back there. So you'll basically be like that, sitting on that screw. But now that's that part of it. I'll get back with you in a minute and show you how I'm going to cover. Alright. All-purpose sheetrock mud. That's what we're using. We're going to just fill it in, let it dry, fill it in, let it dry. You kind of get the know-how of it. A lot of people on YouTube was using the plaster of Paris, and I just seemed like it dried out too quick. Don't you think, Marissa? I mean, with it, if you, 5 or 10, 20 seconds, something like that, 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, something, it's dried.
And you're trying to get it smooth and it's clumping up because it's drying?
Yeah. And this here, you just, Marissa's better at it than me, but you just take it and just put her in, ain't it, Marissa? Like I said, I ain't done one in a few years. I might be not doing it right, but all that stuff on the horns there, you can clean that off. It gets up on it. Ain't no thing. But basically, you just want to get you a good coat on it first. Like I said, just let it dry. It takes, I don't know, how a couple hours to dry. Probably with me gobbing it on like this, it's going to take longer, but I'm just trying to get a good base coat on it right now. Like I said, all this stuff that's on it, that on the plaque, that's all over it right now, you can clean it off soap and water. And we'll do this and just let that dry, and I'll come back with you. Alright, so I'll put that first on and let it dry some. Like I said, you just keep adding it a little at a time. Best thing to do is just try not to rush or nothing, and just get it on there, build it all up. But like I said, every video you see, they use that plaster of Paris, but I've done a few with just this drywall mud, and it seems to work just as good. All that stuff that's like on the antlers or anything like that, that you can get it off later once it dries. You just want to build it up and get you a good foundation right now. You can use putty knife or whatever you want. From my experience, just putting it on with your hands is the best way. And what I'll do when I get these coats on there like this, like I'll set it in front of the heater. takes several coats to get it on, form it the way you want it. Like I said, all that on the horns and stuff, I'll take something to get it off there. As far as the second coat, I can't say cold, second helping. Alright guys, we're getting ready to put the third go on it. Like I said earlier, it don't matter if you get it on the plaque or on the antlers, because you can always clean it off. And I know there's probably better ways to do it, but this is just how I always do it. And you know, a lot of people, they'll just horn mount these deer, and they'll get a piece of like a cloth or something and put over the antlers, and it's fine and dandy. I mean, it's whatever you want to do, but I like this drywall mud pretty good because you can sand it down, and then what we'll do is we'll paint it. But I just get it just in every little nook and cranny and kind of form it the way you want it. You kind of get the let that dry a little bit and we'll get back with you again. Alright guys, this is what she's looking like so far. It's set overnight. It's still soft in spots, so I'm going to have to let it harden up some more, but I'm going to add a little bit more to it and kind of form it out the way I think it's going to be. I got just a warm wash rag here. I'm just going to clean up some of the stuff on it. As you can see, that warm, like any of your spots that you've touched that you don't want on there, just warm rag will take care of all that. I'm not sure how far I'm going to take it out right now to form it up and stuff, you know. And like even on your rack and stuff, you see it. I mean, it's no big deal if you get it anywhere. Like with this right here, you can just take you something, a knife, and scratch it, pop it up anywhere it's thick on it, and then wipe it on down. But like right here, I'm going to build it up a little bit more. Let me go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to set it in front of the heater. It'll probably take, I don't know, 2 or 3 days for it to dry out. You want it to dry out rock hard. I mean, just, you know, solid. So you can sand on it. Because if you go to sand on it right now, it's just going to smear. And when I get to sanding, like any places that's not even or anywhere else that I'm going to need to put this, I can. You want to do it, like I said, over a several step process till you get it to where you want it. I mean, you know, the first time you go at it, you're going to think, God almighty, this is never going to look right. And then, you know, the more you fool with it and sand on it and form it and shape it and stuff, you know, it's gonna start looking better. I know the first one I did, I was like, oh my God, this thing looks horrible. And the more that, you know, I fiddled with it and stuff, it got to looking better. Alright guys, I'm going to let it dry. We'll get back with you. Alright guys, we've got her pretty well dry. I mean, it ain't 100% dry, but it's dry enough to where I'm going to start sanding on it a little. Got just some 80 grit sandpaper here. Let's tear you off a little piece. And just sand it, you know, smooth it down, knock off the rough edges or whatever. Get it sanded down kind of smooth, and then you can see where you need to add or take away, you know what I mean? Whatever. Get it sanded down. Get the rough part of it sanded down. Jump down. I got some 220 sandpaper I'll hit it with there a little. said, right now I just want to try to get all the imperfections out. That's what I was talking about when you was putting it on, that it didn't have to be perfect, because, this sandpaper will take care of the most of it. I get it sanded down to where I want it, what I think it's going to look like and stuff. I'll add more to it and let it dry, and I'll just keep repeating this process until I get the finished outcome that I want. Like right here, I'm going to add some more around. I'm going to take my knife and clip off some of the stuff around the antlers. But I'm going to cut the video off here, because there's no need for you to sit and watch me do this. You pretty well know what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm just going to sand and get it rounded down, get it to what I want it to look like. And I will have to add more around it. That's that's the good thing about this stuff here. You just take your time and make it look how you want it to look. But I'll get back with you when I get it sanded down and looking better. Alright guys, I've got it pretty well molded the way I want it. I might have to add some to build up here and there, but that's the rough sanding of it. Now I went to 220, the fine sandpaper, and I'm going to go through and just any of these little small imperfections I'm going to sand over. Get around the horns and stuff good. Just like I said, just any of these imperfections and stuff I'm going to go over, and like I said, it's not perfect, but that's just, I think it looks good. But I'll get back with you when I get everything sanded down and fixed the way I want it fixed, and I'll get back with you. And there's how it looks. Like I said, that's just that's sanded down. I put another little coat of the drywall mud on it. I still got to do a little bit of fine-tune sanding on it, and then we got to paint it. But that's pretty well what it looks like. Almost done, I guess you'll say. Alright, guys. We got her sanded down. I mean, a person could sand it a little more, but it's good enough for me. I just got some acrylic paint here. I'm just gonna do black. It'll probably take 3 or 4 coats. I know there's no need for me to make you all watch through all this boring stuff. I'll get back with you when I get it painted and let you look at it. There it is painted. I'm still going to have to go over and do some touch-up work on it. Get some of the drywall mud and stuff off the horns and some of that paint. Just touch up around here. I might like some places that needs touched up, but that's pretty well the gist of it right there, guys. From start to finish on mounting your own horns on a plaque. I said I like that better than the. You can buy some like a velvet kind of thing at Walmart to put over them, but I like that where it's kind of built up on it a little bit. But that's how I do it, guys. We thank y'all for watching. God bless.